And now as you come to rest on your back, now before you bend up the knees, it's always nice to do a little check-in. So let the legs be long, sort of a sloppy shavasana. And here simply just notice how your body is resting on the floor. So you can absolutely do this practice as laying on a carpet. I wouldn't do hardwood floors or tiles. I wouldn't be in a bed either. It's just going to be too soft. So we want something that will provide us with some feedback. Because everything changes all the time, but we can get so busy not paying attention that we don't notice. And it's a slippery slope because the body always wants to put us into a sense of homeostasis. So even when things are really off, we may still feel pretty even Steven without being it. But at some point, the stack tumbles over. So with awareness now on your body resting, does it list to one side maybe? Does one hip lie closer to the floor? And what about the shoulders? Does one shoulder blade stick down into the earth a little bit firmer? A little bit more sensation. And also just sense, does one leg roll out more than the other? It all tells us about tension around the hip joint, maybe the knee or ankle joints. So with that said, let's bend up the knees. We'll place our hands on the belly. And first, simply notice as you try not to change your breath, is there any movement in your abdomen? And then maybe make it a little bit more conscious. As you breathe in and out, feel the abdomen ballooning. And let this sense of the expansion on the in-breath, let that draw down into the pelvis. And even down into the legs. I know we're not breathing into the legs. But that gentle expansion, I talked about it earlier in the week, the fascial drag. Because everything connects to the diaphragm. When that engages and releases, there is this gentle tug on everything in the body. Just a little move. Think of seaweed at water's edge. It just kind of floats this direction and that direction. So on the next exhalation, I want you to flatten the low back. Draw the abdomen down, hollowing out. And then slowly release. Let's take a full breath in and out. And again, flattening by hollowing out the belly. So let the pubic bone pull up to the belly button and a sense of the front hip points drawing towards one another. And then we let go of that. Slowly and even. And you may feel there's sort of some jittery and jumpiness in the release. Let's try to slow it down even further. Take a breath in and out. A breath in for nothing. And we flatten again. hollowing out the belly. We carry a tremendous amount of tension, tightness in our abdomens. And when we are fearful, when there's anxiety and uncertainty, even more so. Let's do it one more time. On the next out breath, flattening again. And taking care that you're not flattening by pushing your feet into the floor. That it is purely an abdominal movement. As you return to neutral, let's take a breath out for nothing. We begin to arch the low back, so the muscle contracts on the low back. Again, not using your feet. Slowly return to neutral. Once again, take a breath right from there into the flattening again. Slowly releasing. Don't forget the buffer breath in between. Breath out for nothing from neutral. And then inhale, arching. And you can have your hands right at the hip creases and notice as you arch, if you press your feet down, how it gets really stringy. As your hip flexor is firing up. So let the pressure of your feet disappear so that the front hip creases soften. Same when you flatten. Notice if you're pressing the feet down, using your feet to flatten. Access your center right around the core. As you flatten, we return back to neutral. To moving at a pace that is suitable for your body. Arching as you breathe in. Slowly release back to neutral. Breath in for nothing. And flattening. As you come back to neutral from the last flattening, let's just take the legs long. Slide out the legs. And release the arms down along the side. Releasing the arms down along the side. Just going to roll the legs in and out. Rolling the legs in and out. And then letting the legs become still. I'm going to bend up the knees again. I'm going to roll over onto the right side. And as you come onto the right side, either use your arm to support your head or use a blanket or a pillow if the arm doesn't come all the way up under the head comfortably. So either arm or blanket, but have the neck neutral. Let's pull the knees up to a 90-90 degree. Knees are 90-90, so that means the hips are 90 and the knees are 90. I'm going to take my left arm, put on my headband, putting on my headband. And we're going to do both head and heel. So let's take a breath in for nothing. And as you exhale, lifting the head and lifting your left heel, slowly releasing down. Take a breath in and out. And then on the next exhalation, again, head and heel. Slowly, slowly release. Give yourself a buffer breath in between. Just moving at a pace that's comfortable for you. And the next time you come down, you're going to take the hand behind the head. The hand goes behind the head instead of around it. I'm going to roll my left shoulder onto the floor and slide my right arm out in front. So I'm rolling on towards my left shoulder. Right arm is out in front. So for the diagonal curl, we'll take a breath in again. As we exhale, we return up to center. And we do the head lift again. And then we slowly release out. Shoulder blades relaxes towards the floor, both of them. Breath in and out. And we lift again. So moving up is de-rotating. Moving down puts us in a rotated state. Do it one more time. Lifting up, de-rotating. And then slowly releasing back out. Now you can either stay like this, or if you were more comfortable, up on your side. Going back up on the side. For our next move is the iliotibial. So take your top leg straight out in front, knees are stacked. Draw the left hip back slightly. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift the leg up, maybe about a foot-ish. And then let's count to 12 as we lower down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oy. Let's take a full breath in and out. And also notice, did your right hip cramp up a little bit? Did that want to join into the party? So relax the right hip. And let's do it one more time. Inhaling, lifting the left leg. A few inches or maybe all the way to about a foot-ish. You feel this in the outer hip. Are you pushing with the bottom leg? Well, I'm going to count down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's bend the top leg. Let's roll onto our back. Rolling onto the back. And just pause here. Notice your right side. Notice the left side. Does one side lay flatter with more ease? And let's take the left arm up and we'll roll over onto the left side. I'm going to spin around so I'm still facing towards you. So again, as you take the arm up overhead, if the arm doesn't get up all the way comfortably, take it up as high as it goes, but then support the head with a block, a pillow, a blanket, something, so that the neck is neutral. Let's put the headband on. Let's take a breath in, and as we exhale, head and heel lifts up. And slowly releasing down. Lifting up. And releasing down. Exhaling up, inhaling down. And again, if you find that you're initiating a new one quickly, just give yourself a buffer breath in between. An opportunity to just let everything cool and release all the way before new movement is initiated. Part of what we're doing is retraining our sensory and motor nerve dialogue. How much juice do we need to keep running if there is no activity? Let's do it a couple of more times. Does this side feel like the other side? Is there a difference? Which one is the easier side? Which one needs a little bit more persuasion? Let's take your top hand, right hand behind the head, and we begin to roll, release the right shoulder towards the floor. Taking the left arm straight out in front. So starting point, gaze towards the sky-ish. We'll take a breath in. And as we exhale, we de-rotate and add a little side curl at the top. And slowly releasing back out. And we repeat. De-rotate, little side bend. And slowly releasing down again. Again, always, if you wish, have that buffer breath. The slower you move, the more change you will effect. Now let's just stay in the open position, or if you are more comfortable, up on your side, returning up on your side for the IT band, not the IT department, iliotibia. Knees are stacked. On the in-breath, draw the right hip back a little bit so that you have a little bit of anterior forward tilt in the pelvis. Now we are ready as you inhale. Lift the leg. Maybe a few inches, maybe a foot. And we'll count it down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whew. Let everything relax. This, if you're a runner, and you may be running more now, than you normally do, or you may just be sitting down a lot. Tightens. Let's do one more time. Draw the hips back. So anterior forward tilt of the pelvis. And when you're ready, on an in-breath, we lift again. Lifting the foot. And then slowly, 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 we release down. I'm thinking that's about 12 counts. Let everything cool. Bend your right leg and roll onto your back again. Rolling onto your back again. Do they feel they match more now? Are you laying a little flatter on the ground than when you started? Maybe the height under your head support, if you're using one, that you can start taking it down a little bit. All right, hip rotation. Hands down, one of my favorite. Let's start by putting, well, they're all my favorite. It's like you're asking a parent, which kid is your favorite? All of them. But this is definitely my favorite. Draw the legs together. So we started on this one here on early in the week too. Sliding your right heel up and just sliding it back out again. Sliding up. Sliding back out. Just a little sliding tree pose. Let's do the left side. Don't make it too hard. Sliding up, and you may notice that you have more flexion on one hip than the other. Keeping the pelvis relatively still. So when you slide the leg up, is there a lot of movement across the pelvis? Across the back? Let's go back to the first side. Sliding up again. And now we're going to dip across. And releasing the knee back out to the side. And we're just going to switch back and forth. Left leg slides up, dips across. Let the nose turn opposite off of the knee. A little pumping action on the foot. Sliding up. Pump across. Releasing out. Finishing up on the left side. So internal and external hip rotation. That went really great. Relaxing the arms again. And just notice. Bend up the knees again. As you bend up the knees, for the QL, quadratus lumborum, they are, the troublemakers. So let's see if we can bring some balance to them. You're just going to slide the right hip up towards the right shoulder. And then let it release back down. And yes, because everything attaches across the pelvis, your left is going to be moving down. Now let's move the left hip up, drawing up towards the left shoulder. Feel the contraction, and then slowly release the hip down. Just moving in an easy and gentle way from side to side. Feel the contraction. And then let it release. The sacrum is like a little center point of a lazy Susan. It just bends, that's the center. And the hips are the lazy Susan, just swiveling from side to side. So as you draw the hips up, that is the focus of the movement. Last time on the left, releasing down. Now same movement, but different focus point. You're going to draw the right hip down, move the right hip down. And then slowly release. And yes, you're going to feel the opposite hip drawing up. But can you move the left hip down? Feel the lengthening of the sideways. And then slowly release back to neutral. So while it is the same movement, the focus is different. So it feels different. You are lighting up other neural pathways, creating different communication between the sensory nerves and the motor nerves. This one here too. Next time you finish on the left, let that be the last one. Now opposite, instead of a lazy Susan turntable, it becomes a seesaw. So the center again is the sacrum, and your right hip is going to press down towards the floor, and then let that release. Then the left hip presses down, releasing, moving from side to side. So think of the center of your pelvis as the center point of the seesaw. One hip presses down, straight down, while the other side moves up. I have many fond memories on the seesaw that was in the backyard in the house I grew up in. I think I have more fond memories than my sister, who didn't always stay on. Pity for her. Notice this one side easier to depress. Are you using your feet a lot? Or are you using the deep abdominal core muscles? Investigate. Move it with focus. Move with keen awareness. So now we can put these two together. This is where things gets really funny. So it's both a carousel and a seesaw. I think of it as the pedals on my bike. So as I slide the right hip up towards my right shoulder, I then lift the right hip up towards the sky. It's my pedal coming around. Then the left hip has risen up towards the left shoulder. Now press the right hip down. So the hips are coming around in the way you could think of a locomotive too. Drawing circles with the center of the locomotive wheel or the pedals on your bike. This is not an easy move, I know, but this is one that's necessary for an easy gait, for fluidity and full range of movement where we connect the trunk to the legs. All right, that's going really well. Now we're going to go backwards. Backwards. Not as easy. And my leading is always the right. I have to really focus on creating a communication pathway to my left hip. So if I don't think about it, if I'm on autopilot, I just hang out on the easy right side. But now I'm asking the left to step it up a little bit. All right, let's come back to neutral and just wiggle that out. I know. Straighten the legs out one more time. And pause. Maybe there's a little heat across the pelvis, the lower abdomen. We were really having a chat with the psoas in this movement. So we'll continue on that note. Let's bend up the left knee, bending up the left knee. And we'll do both fibers. So rotating the leg out, your right leg rotates out, so the toes are pointing out to the side. Kind of like they were pointing, if you're a clock dial, they'd be pointing around 2 o'clock-ish. You can rest your hands along the side, you can place them under the head. It's just whatever feels good. Let's take a breath in and gently flatten the low back. We're going to lift the right leg up, not a foot. Reaching out through the toe marks, reach out through the heel. Keep the back pressing down as you slowly, slowly lower the leg back down. Once you made landfall, just let everything go. No more tension. And let's do that again. Take a breath in for nothing. Exhale, flattening the back. Lift the leg, lifting the leg. Toes are pointing out to the sides. And then a sense of growing the leg longer. Really reaching a button just barely beyond the foot. You can almost reach it, but not quite. Hold the back down, hold the back down. And the leg comes down. And let's slide the left leg out. Just breathing in and out of your lower abdomen. Which side might you have more access to right now? Which side is a little bit more spacious or open? Slide the right foot up. Right leg is bent. Left leg turns out. Draw the low back down. And then as you inhale, we're going to lift the left leg up, lifting the left leg up. Slowly, as you reach out through the leg, take it back down to the floor. Keep the low back pressing down. Low back presses down. Let everything cool. Once you come down, We're going to repeat that again. Take a breath in for nothing. Exhale, flattening. Lifting again. Lifting again. And slowly, without hurry, easy peasy, the leg comes down, low back, presses down, presses down, presses down. Once down, pull it all. Pull it all. And then relax. Let's straighten out the right leg. Release the arms if you had them under the head. Or you're feeling like you're starting to melt a little bit more, become a little bit more expansive. We're going to roll over onto the belly. And we're going to start in crocodile pose. With the elbows out to the side, and just let the forehead rest on the back of the hands. Pause there completely, and just shake the bum from side to side. I'm going to tuck the toes under. And press the heels back, press the heels back. And press the forearms down and lift up into a cobra pose. Cobra pose. Draw the belly button forward towards the chest, towards the chest. And slowly, we're going to release back down. Release the legs, relax everything. You're going to place your head in a manner that is comfortable for you. So you might want to turn it to one side. You might want to take it all the way down on the blanket. Just experiment where there's no effort in the head or the neck. No discomfort, just very easy. Now, let's explore the hamstrings. We have 3 of them. So if you saw the Facebook post I made yesterday, we have an outer, and then we have 2 inner, kind of. We're going to visit with them, with all 3 of them. So as you first, the right leg, just keep the hips down. Keep the hips down towards the floor. And we begin to bend up the right knee. Bending up the right knee. And you may find that there's some jittery jerkiness. I'm going to take it as all the way up. This is an easy way. How far will it go? Squeezing as you come all the way in. Squeeze it in, squeeze it in. Squeeze. Keep pressing the hips down. And then slowly begin to release. Begin to release the leg down. Move as if you have all the time in the world. Keep drawing the hips towards the floor, meaning the tailbone towards the heels. Once the leg comes all the way down, just pause. Pausing. And just notice right leg, left leg. You turn the toes in, turning the toes in. So now I'm chatting with some other fibers. I'm gonna bend the knee up, keep the hips moving down. Keeping the hips moving down as I bend up. And then gently draw it in. Draw the heel in. I'm going to give it a little squeeze. You may feel that all the way down on the outside of your shin. And then slowly releasing down. As slowly as you can. Without lifting the hips up. So a little bit of effort to keep in the posterior tilts. Meaning we are drawing the lower abdomen in and up. Tailbone towards the heels. Once down, pause and feel. Let go of all effort. And let's turn the toes in the opposite direction. Opposite. And again. Bending the knee up. You're going to feel this slightly different. So it's not uncommon to have imbalances in the hamstring where one group is tighter. Squeeze the heel in, squeeze the heel in. And then super slowly, releasing back out. Super slowly, we go back out. So you may find that this is your easy side. You really won't know until we repeat on the other side. But for your home practices, always start on the easy side. You're going to just release this one back to neutral. And again, just toggle your mind between the two sides. We're going to add to the upper attachment of the hamstring. So the hamstring and the gluteus maximus, are as a great pair together. Oh, absolutely invincible. But they don't always work well together. So let's just check in and get them both on board. We're going to do this with the toes pointing straight back, hips down. We're going to bend the knee again. Bend the knee, drawing it in. Draw the heel in towards your bum. Pulling it in. Once there is no more flexion at the knee, now lift the knee up. Lift the knee up. And now the glutes have joined in. You can feel both the hamstring and the glute contracting. Let's release the knee down first. So we release the glute. And once the glute is down, hips pressing down, we release the right leg back out again. Back out again. And relax completely once you come down. Just notice right leg, left leg. We're going to go to town on the left now. The beginning, toes are pointing straight back, hips are drawing towards the floor. And we just simply begin to bend straight up. No turns, no nothing, no rotation. Straight up. Draw the heel as close to your bum as you can. Pulling it in tightly. And once you get it in as tight a squeeze as you can, keep the hips down and really squeeze, 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 squeeze. And you feel the back of the knee, the back of the lower thigh really lighting up. We're going to release from here. Slowly release. Slowly release. We're holding a load on the muscle as we are lengthening it back out again. This is where the magic happens. We have long and strong reins. All the way down. Let's turn the toes out to the side. And bend again. Bend up the knee. Hips are drawing down. Tempting to let them float up. You go, nay, 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 nay. Take the heel in as close as it comes with the toes pointing out to the side. Squeeze. And then slowly release. Back out again. Slowly release. Let's turn toes in. Always a cramper for me. We begin to bend again. Bending, coming up. Once you come in, squeeze, squeezing in. Hips are pressing down. And then slowly release down. Slow, slow. Slow, slow. Hold the load on the muscle. Keep the hips pressing down. They want to pop up, I know. And we release. And then there was that one, yes. We're gonna bend the leg up again. Bend the knee, take it all the way in. Hips are pressing down, pressing down. So the hamstring and the glute both assist in hip extension. So now as you bring the heel close, 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 pull the knee up, pull the knee up. Lift the knee away from the floor, and you feel the glutes. Glutes are working. Squeeze, and we return the knee back down. Knee back down. And slowly, slowly release down. And as we come all the way down, I'm pausing here, a little bit of heat maybe in your hamstrings. Visiting again with the hip flexors. So pressing the forearms down again, we're going to lift back up into our cobra crocodile pose. Forearms are pressing down. Now press the hips down, press the hips down, press the hips down. Lift the right leg up. Lift the right leg up. Now it's both glute and hamstring. Can you feel it? Slowly, slowly, slowly releasing down. Once down, everything pulls. Take a breath in and out. And then the other side. Inhale, we press the forearms down, lift the heart, gazes down. Draw the hips down again. Draw the hips down so the low back is neutral. We lift the left leg. Lift the left leg. Hamstring and glute working synergistically. Beautiful thing. We slowly, slowly, slowly. Slowly, slowly, slowly. We release down. Everything cools. One more crocodile cobra. So tuck the toes under, walk the toes to the nose, press the heels back, press the heels back, press the forearms down, and then pressing up, pressing up. So now the heels are pressing back. You feel the calves, feel the calves. Belly button lengthening forward. Now slide the toes back, slide the toes back. So the calves are now getting a little bit of work as you're beginning to straighten the ankle. Once fully straightened out, let everything relax down. And that might have cost a little bit of a cramper. We're going to tuck the toes under again. Tuck the toes under again. Press the heels back again. Lift the heart. One more time. Slide the toes against the resistance off the blanket. You feel the calves are engaging. Slowly stretch all the way out. And release down. You're going to just bend up the knees and just shake it all out. And we are ready to come onto our back again. So as you come onto the back, we're going to do a little bit of calf support still. So just take your left leg or right leg, and it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go for a little walk down the calf. Because what happens in the calves happens in the hamstring, happens in the hamstring, it happens in the spine. All right, you have massage bifurcated. It's all good. It's to the other side. Thumb starts behind the knee, and you're just going to walk, massage, pinch, squeeze, whatever you want to call it, all the way down to your ankle. Back up again, and then release the leg down. I'm going to draw the left of the first leg in again. I'm going to take my fingers behind the knee this time, and I'm just going to walk my fingers down. So this is also a nice thing to do to yourself. You're just releasing the fascia around the hamstring. Everything can get really tight. We put a lot of heat into them with the practice. So now we're just making sure that everything is sliding and gliding. I recommend that you drink a lot of fluid after the practice tonight. Well, not a lot, but make sure you're not dehydrated. Daily fluid intake should be about 64 ounces, and not all of it Chardonnay. And we move back up again. And releasing down. Let's slide the legs out. Draw the legs together. We're going to interlace the fingers. Draw the palms towards the sky. Stretch the palms overhead. Take the heels long. Tailbone towards the heels. And relax. Bend the elbows. Let the legs be about hip width apart. About hip width apart. Arms relaxes in whatever fashion is comfortable. If your low back is chatty, support the knees with a blanket or pillow. So we'll simply pause here for just a couple of minutes to let your body gain an understanding of this place. The nervous system is rewiring constant. So we just put a whole lot of new information into the system. Let the breath be deep and easy. And then gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggling fingers and toes. Bend up the knees. Rock the knees gently from side to side. Just a couple of times, get a little movement into the back again, and we roll all the way over onto one side. Using arms and hands, pressing all the way up. Back into back in this first time we're in a seated position. We'll bring our palms together at heart center. Thank you for allowing me to share your practice today. And happy Mother's Day to everybody. If we have a mother, it's worth celebrating. Namaste. I will unmute everybody. Comments, thoughts,